Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from JJDivas. Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me today. All month long, I am going to be playing Pick 3 with Cree, where I pick 3 different prompts per day out of this bag. I have them all written on these little circles, and they're double-sided so that if I want to cheat, I can, because there are no rules in this game. This is all about using the stuff that you have, getting creative, maybe putting some different mediums together that you normally wouldn't, and just getting that stuff out and working with it, because sometimes we kind of put our mediums in the back and forget about them. So I picked the prompts in a previous video. This is my first week. Now, if you want to play along with me, you can do this in any order. I'm just picking 5 days per week, so it's not 7, just 5 per week. And for each day here, I've got 3 prompts. So like I said, you can do this in any order that you want. And if you play along with me, for each day of prompts that you do, if you post it with the hashtag Pick3WithCree, either on Instagram or if you're on Facebook in Junk Journal Divas, post it in the Divas group so that I can see it. When I see your post, I'll make a comment that I have you entered into a drawing that I'm going to do after the end of the month. And for each day that you do, you get an entry into the drawing. So I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but I'm going to make it something fun, because I've been wanting to do this little project just to play with different mediums and have fun. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so I'm super excited about it. So join me and let's play. So today I'm going to be working on this one, cardboard, napkin, and numbers. So to start off, I want to add a little bit of color to this piece of cardboard. So I just grabbed my distress crayons. These are a pretty easy way to put down some color. You can literally just kind of scribble the color on and then use your finger to kind of smudge them and blend the colors together. Okay, so the pink was not showing up at all, so I'm moving on to this brown color. So I'm just going to randomly put some of this down. And then I also grabbed green, so I can add some of the green color in there also. Now, if this was a flat piece of paper, one of my favorite things to do also is, after you kind of smudge the color together, if you put down a stencil and then wipe with a baby wipe, it will lift up the color with the stencil. But of course, this is cardboard, we can't do it. Now I'm just kind of smearing this around. I just did not want this to be a regular, just brown cardboard. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of this off, because I have the idea, I think I'm going to put it through my die cut machine. So I'm going to put just a layer of Mod Podge to kind of seal that, and kind of makes it a little sturdier for die cuts, because I have die cuts that are numbers, so that's what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to put a thin layer of Mod Podge on here. Then dry this quickly with my dryer, and I kind of feel like I want some more of, I don't know, something. So I'm just going to splatter a little bit of this picket fence. It's a distress spray, but anything that you have, white or black or anything, I just wanted some splatters or something to kind of give it a little more interest. So this wasn't really spraying the way that it usually does, which it would come out more looking like splatters. So I am just going to apply it this way. Why not? Okay, and then again, I'm going to dry this just to make sure everything's dry before moving on to the next step, which I will say is one of the most important things with mixed media, is making sure things are dry. So this is a lot, I like this better. Okay guys, so this is after I put it through my die cut machine. So I've got my numbers and these look pretty cool. So again, I'm using food packaging and I'm going to make a tag because I'll be mailing a lot of these creations. I'll be mailing a lot out for my Diva Delights, which is what I'm going to do with this one. So I'm just going to cover one side with this book page. And this book page just happens to be one that was tea dyed, and then I did some stamping on top of it also. So I'm going to glue this down to the side that has the picture on it. Most of us happen to have a lot of book pages, so I like to, I tea stain some of mine, coffee stain some, put random splatters of watercolor paint or distress sprays, do some stamping, just to give them some interest and make it a little more fun when I grab them to use on projects. So I'm just going to smooth this out, then I can cut that excess off. So now I'm thinking, since I'm going to be doing a napkin on this with a lot of glue, I'm going to put a layer of gesso just to protect it. I don't want it to warp or anything. So I'll put a thin layer of gesso here. And then of course I'm going to use my dryer because I don't want to wait for anything to air dry. And then I'm just going to turn it around and kind of smush it down. And then, okay, now we're ready. We'll air dry this, and then I'll pick out what napkin I want to use for my background. I'm going to use this napkin with the faces on it. And this is pretty easy because it's already separated. So I'll just cut a piece of this off, and then just as you would for decoupage, I'll put a layer of Mod Podge down, my napkin, and then some Mod Podge on top of that. So I'm just kind of cutting around the faces here. And let's see where we want to position this on our tag. And I think this looks good. So now I'll grab my Mod Podge and we can go ahead and glue this down. Cut off some of this excess. Now, I like to tear the edges because sometimes with napkin, if you don't, it'll just have that blunt edge, and I don't like that. So I usually try to tear the edges. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this down. Guys, I am back with my project here. I've got my coffee in hand in my Diva, Junk Journal Divas mug. Dropped my kids off at school, so I'm back to play here. Last night, I started working on this, and then I realized that my phone wasn't actually recording, so but it was okay because large, I think. So I peeled them off, but I kind of like the backing of the cardboard came off, and I kind of like the way that it looks. I'm gonna leave these onto the background because it looks kind of cool. And then I have this focal point from Art House Whimsy. I'm thinking of this being kind of steampunk-ish. So I'm gonna ink her up. Maybe I'll just outline her with, I've got my paint marker here. Although you won't be able to see much of my napkin. Maybe I can add, I have more pieces here. Maybe I can add some up here. And you guys, if you don't know this trick, I always talk about it in my videos, but now this napkin is coming apart very easily, but most of them don't. So what you do, the trick for it is to take a piece of Scotch tape and you put it down on the napkin, well, on the other side, not the side you want to use. You would do it on this side, put the tape down, and when you peel it up, it will tear this layer, and then you can just separate the layers. And sometimes napkins have 3 layers. Others are just two ply. So that's a great tip if you don't know it. And I'm gonna tear it because I don't want the blunt edge. So let's go ahead and glue this down. And I'm wondering, when you guys are in your room and creating, do you listen to music? Do you have a TV show or movie on, or listen to audiobooks? And this is what I am doing a lot of lately, listening to audiobooks. And it really, especially if I'm creating a certain something that, you know, I want to like have a certain feeling, or, you know, some magical realism for fairies. And yeah, that seems to be, I love doing that stuff, finding a book that kind of goes along with what I'm creating. So I was just wondering if anybody else listens to audiobooks. And the cool thing about it is that I'm very picky about the narrator, as I guess most people are if you listen to audiobooks. So I've been listening to a lot of genres that I normally would not listen to, just because I like the narrator, and vice versa. There's a lot of books that I would like to read, but I don't like the narrator, so I can't listen to it. But I just find, of course, I spend all my free time creating, and I used to be a big reader. I love to read, and so this is, I just started doing the audiobooks. So okay, that just kind of covers that up. I can see my napkin. Let me rinse out my brush. By the way, this brush is at Lori Marie Jenkins. I love her so much. She calls this brush Baby Blue, and I am going to put her specific link for this brush because I love this brush. It's fantastic for, I use it for glue and gesso and everything. I've gone through a lot of different brushes, not knowing which one, you know, to try, and I don't even think it's all that expensive, but it washes out really well. And anyway, I just love this brush. So I'm going to put that in the video description too. You guys know I always put all kinds of links and things in my video description. So I'm going to rinse this out and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my brush rinsed out and clean. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue down my focal point here. I guess I will ink it up a little. Digital kit is so fun. It's a very bright and colorful digital kit, except for there's like 2 or 3 that are this sort of steampunk vibe. And it's all the sassy looking older ladies. I love it. Let's put her on here. And also, hand sanitizer. I know Tim Holtz has said several times in his videos also, but I use it for all kinds of stuff at my desk to get out, to clean my desk off and get paint and things off. So right now I'm getting all the sticky off of my scissors very carefully so I don't cut myself. Okay, I am going to outline her. Then let's put some of our numbers on. Put this around the eyeball there. I like that. Now I'm going to go over her and dry her really well. Now I'm just looking at some of these little, they're small filigree pieces that I rusted. So I wanted to include a piece here. I do have a rusty butterfly I could put there. That might be cool. So let me just put this to the side for now, because I want to outline some more stuff here. This, let your art free you, and this spoke to me, so this is what's going to go on here. But I want to put some sort of background on it, so maybe we'll use a piece of this. Let's see, where are my tweezers? So yes, what do you think? I like this up here with the little bits of red. So let's do this. Just going to even this out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of cut a larger piece out of this because we'll see what we want to cut off to make it fit on here. Oh, guys, another cool thing that I want to share, and I cannot for the life of me remember where I learned this, because I always love to give people credit for things. You know, I am learning, and just sharing what I learn as I go. Okay, I just grabbed a piece of scrap paper here. So this is about when you tear things. So you'll see, okay, let's tear this. So one part's going back and one's going forward. So you see whatever's coming forward is not going to have this, you know, the white part, if you can see that. So if you're tearing around a focal point, let's say, see here, I'm tearing towards me, tearing out a focal point. If this is my focal point, then I don't have any of the white along the edges. And so that's a great tip. And I'm sorry I cannot remember where I saw that, but it was definitely a while ago, and a great tip, great thing to know. Okay, so I think, let's just tear a little bit of this. And I'm gonna leave it like this. Now the one thing is my cardboard is separating like this, so I'm gonna have to put a little bit of glue in here because I don't want that to happen. I love it. Outline my quote a little bit. Few of these hole punch things, and I have some silver. Maybe I'll use the silver. Okay, I've got a lot here, so I might, sometimes what I do is if I can just thread it through the hole, then I just kind of pull it up and go around it with my sewing machine. So let's see if we can do that. So I kind of twist it to make a point at the end. I might need to get something to poke it through. There we go. So see here, just kind of, I got it to go through, and then I'll just kind of do this and sew over top of it here. Okay, so here we go. Name stamp on the back, and this is one that I put a faux wax seal on top of it, so that's kind of fun. I think we want to put the butterfly on. Let's do that. Let's add some dots to make her show up. All right, I really hope that I don't mess her up. We will see here. Nope, I like it. All right, guys, there we go. So here we've got cardboard, napkin, and numbers. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a lot of fun. I'd love for you to join me and play along. So next I'm going to be working on squares, buttons, and embossing powder, and I have a fun idea for this already. So I will see you for the next creation. So here's a look at what we did today, and I'm going to show the prompt list in case you want to join in. Thanks for watching.